Alrighty everybody, we are back and we got a 2-day 2v2 tournament happening. As always, please remember to subscribe and like this video. We got some big contests coming your way. So, you've already met B, he's my partner for the weekend. And then we've got Rye, who you've met, and a new face to the mix, Mr. Drew Wild, aka D Wilderness. So, today we are playing at the Squamish Valley Golf Club. Beautiful panoramic views. Wilderness. We took some drone shots this morning. Thoughts on the course?
At first it was pretty good. I was nervous. It looked a little narrow out there, but I think I'm going to be okay if I can keep out of the water and some of the sandy spots there. You
betcha. Rye, you're looking a little bit intimidated over there.
It's hard not to be with you, Ben, but if this is anything like our Canmore trip last year in Kananaskis, it shouldn't be too difficult to get the W today.
Let's hope we have a different outcome from that trip. And as always, narrow course here at Squamish, so you know what that means. You better be keeping the ball straight. Alrighty, so we got hole 1 here at Squamish Valley Golf Club. Just a narrow tee shot to start things off. You've got a couple bunkers down the right hand side and a few tall cedars that you can see from the tee box here. Looking about 270, so definitely in play if you do go down the right. And it's a bit of a dog leg left. You want to hit a nice draw off this tee shot. Keep it in play. Should be able to walk away with a birdie or a par. Let's do it. I think that's on the other hole. That was looking like it was perfect, and then it clipped a tree branch. Yeah. Trouble for the Wilderness and Rye team. Ooh. Well, tap in birdie to start. We will take that. So we got the second hole here. It's a relatively straight on par 4. What you see is what you get. Try and avoid the trees, avoid the bunkers. Relatively flat green as well, but it does drop off the back, so you want to be cognizant not to go too long on your approach shot. Oh! And he bombs it. Nice shot, buddy. Go in. Oh. Important par putt here from Ryan. And we go 2 up, through 2. Moving on to the third hole here. It's a short par 4, dog leg left. Playing about 260 to the pin today from the back tees. So definitely reachable if you're gonna cut the corner and hit a nice high ball over those trees. But if you do end up in the trees or short in that front bunker, you're gonna have a tough situation. And if you do choose the layup option, which for me is a 4-iron today, you kind of want to hit a 220 to 240 shot. Anything longer than that, you'll end up in that fairway side bunker there.
Great ball. With B-Mag in the fairway, I'm taking driver out, going for the green. Wind's a bit in the face, but it's 260, so I'd say there's still a chance. Forward left.
Kind of got like a pseudo hazard here, like an old dry creek bed or something, but don't want to end up in that rough. So thankfully all of our shots cleared it and we're up on this nice flat spot of fairway here. For Pete's sake. Well, Ryan's in the...
He's playing safe, he's laying up.
He's laying up from 80 yards. good. Get up. Oh, D-Wild is dancing. Get up. Crazy lip here on this bunker. You don't see that every day. Look at that humdinger. You do not want to end up within a meter of that. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, Rye.
I'd say so.
Moving on to the 6th hole here, a definite signature hole. You've got a slight dogleg left, trees tight to the left-hand side. The right side does open up a little bit. That big cedar straight through the fairway is over 300 yards. And then you've got water up there for your approach shot to worry about. As well, some bunkers up behind the green, and it's a very shallow green, so makes that second shot, if you're going for it, very, very challenging and important. V. We are 4 up through 5. How you feeling, man?
You know, I haven't been playing the best, but B-Mag here's just been dragging the team through, so I'm feeling pretty good.
You've been holding us in it for sure.
Oh no, it's wide open. We could win this
almost
hole.
Missed the ball.
You wanna go, Brett?
You guys caught it?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That nice draw.
Literally the perfect drive for this hole. Ooh, and Rye responds with an almost identical shot shape.
Big left.
Perfect. We got the B team here is in a serious position. Rye, who hit a nice drive, is there. You go forward another 70 yards. There's Brett's drive at the 150 stick, 320 yard drive, par 5. Almost drove it to the stinking water. Brett, that is so good. Be the club. Yeah.
Hit it.
Oh. Well, there you have it. A couple birds for the B team. Leaves us 5 up through 6. Lots of golf left, boys.
Not enough.
I believe in you.
Yeah, we're almost stormy.
These holes 6 and 7 are just great holes back to back. 7th hole, you've got to carry it over that pond that you just bypassed on the 6th hole. It's a reasonably short par 4, lots of sand to think about, and a bit of a tricky green on this one because it slopes fairly heavily from back to front, and you've got a couple ridges to worry about while you're putting. Oh, that's perfect.
That's scary good.
Nice line, buddy.
Nice putt.
Get in the hole. Oh! Get going. Good out.
Kissed it.
And we are on the 9th hole. The match is slowly growing more and more distant for Ryan Drew, but you never know. On to the 9th hole here. So great finishing hole on this front 9. You got water down the left side that's just out of reach for most people teeing off here. A couple fairway bunkers, of course, to worry about. Thick trees right and left, but if you do go right, you'll likely end up on the hole 10 fairway, so it's not the end of the world. You're just gonna have a very difficult second shot. Probably gonna have to thread the needle. Great green. The green, once again, is a bit of a challenging one with a couple tiers to worry about, so definitely want to know your pin placement on this 9th hole.
All right. Most reliable club.
took one back on us, Beats.
I know.
Hole 10 here, one of the most narrow holes of the course, which is definitely saying something considering how narrow this track is. Left is dead, right you're on another fairway, got some bunkers to worry about. Because of that, we've got 4 layup clubs coming out, no driver, and it's a relatively short par 4, so you don't really need the distance on this 10th hole.
Wow, just lighten it up now. Watch out, B.
Making a charge.
Get up. How many times is that gonna happen, Ryan?
5 back, baby.
5 back, 2 straight for Rye and Wilderness. Could this be the comeback of the century? Moving along to the signature 11th hole, one of my favorite par 3s I've ever played. You've got a couple well-placed bunkers, water the entire length of the hole to carry over, and a very tricky small green that's also elevated. So if you're short, right, left, or long, chances are you'll be rolling off and have yourself a difficult up and down to make par. Wilderness and Rye are on a bit of a tear here. Two hole streak. So Drew's leading us off. See how she goes. It's very good. Good number. How's your time?
No.
That's leaking.
That was a good leg. Nice, Drew.
Have the hole. Couple pars. And another par 5 here, hole 12. You've got a bunker down the left-hand side that is carryable for reasonably long hitters, so not too much in play. Generally speaking, you still want to keep it off to the right. Just a super narrow par 5 here. Thankfully, right is a bailout. So if you end up in the right side trees, they're a little more open than they look in the drone shot. A couple bunkers at the front of the green. You'll want to get over those if you're going to have a chance at making bird on this one. And thankfully a bit of a backstop there. So if you do go a little bit long, shouldn't be too difficult of a chip down towards the pin.
These guys are on us, B.
Had some brutal eagle tries today. You're right, it would. Good bird.
Hole 13 here, in my opinion, the most difficult hole on the course. You've got a 280-yard carry from the back tees to get over those left side bunkers. A bit of a pond to hit over as well. It's wide off the tee and definitely opens up to the right. Left is completely dead, but as you approach closer and closer to the hole, it just gets more and more narrow. And anything that does end up to the right-hand side is still not ideal because you're probably gonna end up punching out from underneath the trees.
Is he really good or really bad?
No, that is like perfect.
Oh, really good.
Perfection.
We're dancing.
Hit it.
Hit it.
Slow down, slow down.
It's like, This 14th hole is a relatively straight on par 4, not overly long, but it is super narrow. So generally speaking, I'd be recommending a layup club here. You don't need a ton of distance. Just keep it in play, give yourself a chance at green and regulation, and move along to the next hole. We got 14 to 18 holes left. I'm having somewhat of a career round, so we're gonna keep it going shot for shot style to see if I can close out and keep it low on the scoreboard today.
It was the tee.
We are on to hole 15 here. It's another reasonably short par 4. You got water on the right hand side of the green, so left is definitely the safe play, but just a super narrow tee shot. You've got some towering cedar trees that are taking up that left side of the fairway. Layup's probably the play, but if you can hit a high cut over those trees, you could end up in a very good spot and have a possible look at bird. Get on the green.
That was high, and it was also a cut.
It was a high cut for sure.
Perfect layup shot. We're in play. Oh my gosh, Ben.
So, turns out, water to the right of the green is in play off the tee. That your ball there, Drew? D Wild drove the green. What was the distance on this one? 363 yard par 4, and he's dancing. That is deep. Holy smokes.
He's falling apart.
Okay, we've got a tricky par 3 here. This one is challenging because anything short, you're gonna for sure end up in that water, even if you land at the front of the green. Because the green slopes back to front, you really want to be cognizant to take a little bit of extra club or just give it that extra gusto. That being said, if you take too much club and end up in that back bunker, you're gonna find yourself in some trouble with a very difficult downhill sand shot that could very easily roll into the water with how fast these greens are running. Okay, so the final par 5 of the day here on hole 17. What you see is what you get. Once again, a narrow hole. Right is reasonably safe because the trees are a little bit more spaced out there. Left is very much dead. And definitely just want to keep this one in play. More or less a 3-shot hole due to the length and the elevated green there. But no reason why you can't go for it in 2 if you have a good tee shot.
Stay there. He's hammered it. Shucks, eh?
Okay, and we are wrapping up with hole number 18. It is a 417 yard par 4, beautiful golf hole. You got a small pop bunker down the right hand side. Once again, right is a reasonably safe bailout and left is dead, but it is so tight up to the green there. You very much want to keep it in place so you don't find yourself punching out from the trees.
Got a long drive competition, shortest drive, or the person furthest from the fairway buys the rest of the crew milkshakes. Is that what the gig is?
Yeah.
So no pressure, gents. Let's wrap it up here strong. Get some pars and birdies, and go get some milkshakes.
Oh, he does it.
Is that on the fairway?
Yeah, it is. That's definitely in contention.
Is it fine?
Oh yeah, it's deadly.
Well, Rye, that's a little bit right, but we've seen worse tee shots from the day. Rye, I don't know, man. You might have to get the wallet out after that one.
Can't speak too soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrible.
Hey, that's inside of Rye. It comes down to me and Rye.
Yep, shakes on me.
Shakes on Rye.
Dang it.
Cut. Exactly where I was aiming. Sit down. I'm gonna try. Well, good round, boys. Thanks for playing. And thanks for watching. If you haven't already and you've made it this far, please remember to subscribe. Squamish Valley Golf Club, expectations absolutely exceeded on my part. The greens were running true, the fairways were nice and rolling forever, and of course you've got the views.
I like the playability here just because you're not guessing off the tee what you should hit. You can usually tell, so you can just hit your shots with a lot more confidence compared to a course that you haven't played a lot.
When you play here, you just want to know where to miss. You've got tight trees to some sides, and other sides they're a little bit more open, so keep that in mind off your tee shots. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.